Ezekiel 22 verses 30. And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found none. In every generation and for every age, God seek out men among men, unto whom he can commit himself and his oracles. But there is scarcity when we come to such men, and out of thousands maybe one may be found. It has been the concern of God from generation to generation. There are many people that have filled up the church, but the truth is that they are not usable. Every Sunday when you enter the church, it is packed with people who have issues and they want solutions. With a group of people who complain, who don't look at what God have done. They have different expectations, and when those expectations are not met, they become bitter. Let me tell you something. Wherever you are is a prayer topic for another person. The other day I told you how a gentleman told me that if I can see again, a young boy, I want to pray for him. And I asked him, what do you want God to do? He said, I want God to open my eyes that I can see you, because I've heard about you. I want to see your face. That's the prayer request of a little guy, to see my face. He was born blind. Is it the sin of that boy? There are people that are born with their legs. Some are born with their ears. Some are born with their eyes. So even just to be healthy is a prayer topic. You will not understand the investment people invest in health until you are sick. But you know, when you come to the church on Sunday, it has been filled up with people who are not happy for wherever they are. They are not happy for the last meal they ate. They are not happy for their current situation. They are not happy because the business is not working. They are not happy because their marriage just broke down. They are not happy because relationship has broken down. Their family, everything is chaos. The husband is a drunkard. The husband goes out and don't come back early. Everyone have a reason to complain. So the church is full of complainers. During the time of worship, when people are crying, it's not because they are crying because the worship songs are moving them. They are remembering issues in the house. They say, oh, this guy, the song have touched him or her. Trust me, if you open up, you discover that the song, he didn't even hear the song. But the Lord said, I am looking for a man that is to make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me, that I shall not destroy it. And that man is you this morning. Tell your neighbor you are the one God has been looking for. There was a pastor. He finished preaching one day and he was driving home. And whilst the pastor was driving home, there was a place. In that place, there is a bridge in that area. One thing about that bridge is that there is an issue with the bridge. Just beside the bridge is a mental institute. That's criminal, insane institution where they put people with mental issue. They're very dangerous people. Those who are mentally ill and they are aggressive, they destroy everything, they beat everybody, they throw stones and all that. They keep them there. So they put a signpost around that area and said that do not pick any person here, because at that point if you pick someone, it is your own cost. They made that post because they knows that the people normally escape the institute, stand at the bridge and ask for lift. So they put a post and said, do not pick anybody. So whilst the pastor closed from church, he was driving home with the wife and the two daughters. And whilst they were driving home, they came across, they were getting close to the bridge. It was raining that day, so you cannot see afar. So the pastor wasn't seeing, he was just managing to get through to their house. It was raining cats and dogs. So when they got to the bridge, they discovered that there was a man who was standing without a shirt. He has removed his shirt and was waving the shirt and standing in the rain. And the wife told the husband, do not stand. Find a way and dodge him and let's go. And there was no way to dodge him. So the man was standing at the place where the man was supposed to use, because the clear road was where the man was standing. He wasn't seeing the other areas. The pastor said, okay. He decided to stop. So he stopped and rolled down the glass, and the man gave him a slap. He slapped him down. When he slapped him down, he told the family to lock the car and never come out until he asked them to. So the wife and the daughters were begging him not to step out, but he agreed. He refused rather and stepped out. He stepped out and he held the guy. He wanted to hold the guy down, pin him to the ground and maybe revenge. When they slapped you and they enter you, the best thing you think of is revenge. So the best thing he was thinking is what? To revenge. Whilst he was thinking of revenging, all of a sudden, he heard the madman said, the bridge is off. Stop. The bridge is off. Stop. So as those words sound in the ears of the man, he discovered that the man was trying to tell them that the bridge has been taken away by the rain. There is no bridge again. So which means if you drive through, you are driving to your death. So he was trying to warn them. And according to he has already warned some group of people and they refused. And then they kind of like drove down to that valley. and they are dead. So when the pastor discovered that the madman was trying to warn them, he put his arm around the neck of the madman. Looking at the wife and the 2 daughters, he wept bitterly. And after weeping, he joined the madman, and they were standing in front of the road and were stopping their cars. The bridge is off. Stop. The bridge is off. Stop. Hallelujah. I know you like that story, right? Good. So that story is talking about you. Tell your neighbor the bridge is off. The madman is simply talking about myself and you. People are driving their way to danger. It's a death trap. People are going to hell. People are on their way to places they can never return. We have to stand in front of the road, knowing the dangers involved, and we have to warn them and say the bridge is off. And one of the ways to do that is to serve God in church. It's a form of evangelism. Letting people, making sure that people are rooted in the gospel is a form of evangelism. Singing is a form of evangelism. Ushering is evangelism. Protocoling is evangelism. Dancing is evangelism. Preaching is evangelism. Whatever we do here is evangelism. There are people who are not born again who can get born again through this activity we are doing here. Just ushering someone the right way will make that person get born again genuinely. Doing the right thing in church, serving the Lord in the church will make a person get born again. That is evangelism. Bolga is about 150,000. But on Sunday, if you add all churches, we will not get 10,000. On a Sunday, attending church, worshiping the Lord, praising Him for one day out of the 7 days He has given them. Let's not talk about week services, because week services, some people are so busy. What of Sunday? What happened on Sunday? Because Sunday is a weekend. They are in their houses. Why? Because somebody is not warning them. Somebody is not standing in front of the bridge, telling them that the bridge is off. Look at the risk the madman took, knowing that the man can just come and clear him off. Yet he took that risk just to save a man's life. He don't know. They are not related. It's the same risk we have to take. Look, serving the Lord is painful, but it's rewarding. One of the most painful things is that serving, especially serving people. When you are serving the Lord where people are involved, it is painful. They will not appreciate you. Like I said this morning, people are ungrateful. People are forgetful. People are, wicked. You can give your everything to somebody and say, you never give me anything. They are like a fowl. You know, after a fowl finished eating, he said, the whole day I have not eaten. That's how men are. And when you are serving with the mentality that you are serving men, trust me, you will get tired. I told you, where to draw your strength from is from where? God. In 1842, there was a particular missionary that went to a particular city. When he went to that city, he went to preach the gospel. And after 20 years of preaching, he died. And when he died, this was what was written on his tombstone. It was written, No Believer in 1842. And he died in 1862. That's 20 years. So they wrote that in 1842, No Believer. And in 1862, No Unbeliever. That was what was written on his tombstone. In 1842, No Believer. In 1862, No Unbeliever. When he entered the city in 20 years, there was no unbeliever again in that city. If you die now, what would we say about you? What will we write on your tomb? Will we just say born in 1842 and died in 1862? No, there should be something that you should cultivate on earth. That when you die, whatever you have gathered, it will be so much catching attention that people cannot do otherwise than to write it on your tomb. You know, when you go to the tomb of the president of Ghana, for example, Atames, they will write John Evans Atames, former president of Ghana, 2008 to 2012. That's what is written there. Was he only a president? No, he's a man, he's a father of a family. I don't know if you are getting it. He was a lecturer. He has hold position until he become a president. But that is the only thing that can catch the attention of men. For example, if my father died and they say, Mumuni Idrisu, from what, married 6 women, no one will read it. Because it's not an achievement. Any achievement that is common to achieve, people don't, they don't get attracted to it. If you die today, what will we say about you? How many souls have you brought to church? How many have you won? How many have stood in front of that danger and said, don't come, there is fire here? Some of your life story is supposed to get someone born again, but you are too righteous. You can't even go to somebody and preach. There are people who are where you were. You are the best person to tell them to come out. One day a man of God called me and said, sir, I got born again. I was a Muslim and I got born again. and someone directed me to you, and he said that you can help me. He said, I was a Muslim, my father is an Alhaji, and blah blah. I said, I'm the best person. The one who directed you did well. I'm the best person because I know what it takes to come from a Muslim background. So we become church workers to be ambassadors of Christ. It is not about our budget, it's about the spiritual impact we make in the church. As somebody who desires to serve the Lord, you must take notice of the following: that it is not about form but transformation. It's not about position but production. It is not about faithfulness but fruitfulness. It is not about reformation but transformation. It is not about material prosperity but true spiritual riches. It is not about the immediate and now. There are things you will not get now, but it's about eternity. Think far. Hear me well. Don't give money expecting money in return. You will be disappointed. I know some of you have sown seed expecting that when you just step out, the 500 Ghana cedi you gave should be turned to 500,000. You're a joker. You will sow a seed and go home and hunger with discipline. God have seen you. Now you are thinking of now, but the way God think, he don't think like you. Don't give and it's not investment. It's not number one. Men's gold. You just give now. The next day, someone must give. You know, people normally give testimonies that I just gave this. Most pastors, they are scammers. They give fake testimonies to inspire you to give. After you now give, what happened in their life don't happen in your life. They'll say, ha 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 ha. You know, one day the Lord just asked me to give my last car, and I dropped the keys on the floor. As I dropped the keys on the altar, before I got home, there were 5 cars parked. Who brought them? He said, up until now, I don't know who parked those cars. So you two, you are holding your motorbike here, you are holding it like this. This motorbike, I'm even tired of it. You come and drop it, you will trek. We'll give you lips until we are tired. God don't do those things. So he's not a businessman that do profit and no. God think different from you.